Without anybody questioning?
Brooks is on. We'll see what happens. Roll call vote.
Ma'am, you look like that.
We're live. My phone said. Okay, we're live. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody. I normally say this a little bit ahead of time, and I missed my cue. If you would, please make sure your phones are on silent. So I will call this meeting to order, and we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation from Alderman Vaughn, and then a moment of silence. So, if you would, please rise with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alderman Vaughn, please.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The God of creation, the giver of life, the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Father God, the God of creation, we just thank you so much for you being the God that you are, the one that sit high and look low, the one that knows all things, sees all things, hears all things, and understands all things. We thank you, Father God, for you being the God of our plan for salvation. The normal one that you allowed to be crucified, died, and buried, but in 3 days, God, you raised your son from the dead and sit at the right hand of you, making intercession for sinners and rest like us. We ask you that you would please forgive us of all our sins, those that are known and unknown, seen and unseen. And now, Lord, we ask you that you would bless this mayor, this board. Father God, that we would take things to our heart, not just our mind, but we would have the eye of you, Lord, on every decision that we make. And we just thank you so much for the guidance and the direction that you're going to give us tonight, and what you have given us in the past, what you have allowed us to achieve. We thank you. But we pray a special prayer for those that was in the eye of that tornado, Father God, that went all over the country. But we pray that you comfort those, Father God, that lost so much, and those that lost their lives. But we give all honor and praise and glory to you, God, because of who you are and where you are. And we always thank you for being our God, and we're your servants. And you are our Father, and we are the children. God, we thank you for controlling our destiny. You're not leaving us in the hand of no man. Because you made us in your image, your likeness. You made us just a little bit more than an angel. You know everything about us. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here for this, our first regular meeting of April. So with that, our next item on the, and just for information purposes, we do have one alderman. Alderman Brooks is not with us in person, so we'll be having a roll call vote for every vote that we take this evening. So with that in mind, we need approval of the official agenda with consented items. Do we have any changes? Alderman Carter?
No, ma'am.
Alderman Rupp?
No, ma'am.
Alderman Brooks?
No, ma'am.
Alderman Beatty? Alderman Sistrom?
Yes, Mayor. We've not had a chance to get feedback about the budget policy item that's on there, and so I'd like to take that off the agenda tonight and bring it back maybe in 2 weeks, give people a chance to study it a bit more and get some comments back.
Okay. Well, we will delete that one. Shown delete under board item 10A.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else?
No, I was looking for the tax abatement. It's under public hearings?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Mayor, just one matter, if it pleases Honorable Mayor. Roman numeral 9, under Mayor's business, consideration calling for public hearings.
Yes, sir.
I offer that for consent.
Okay. Any objection to that's calling for a public hearing to make some slight changes for account holders to the sanitation ordinance? Any objection to or putting that on consent? Any objection? All right, seeing none, we'll place that one on consent. Anything else, Vice Mayor?
I yield, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Alderman Vaughn, anything?
No, ma'am, thank you.
All right, with that, I need a motion for the approval of the official agenda with consented items as amended.
So moved.
I have a motion from Alderman Rupp. Alderman Beatty.
Can we take the bond sale off that you're talking about here?
You'd like to remove the resolution from the...
Just get a little clarification about what projects and what all we're going to be doing with it. I mean, I know it's a blanket resolution to issue up to $15 million general obligation bonds, but do we have any kind of idea of what we're going to spend the money on and how much each one of these is going to cost on a line item thing?
Yes, but we will remove
I
that.
mean, or if not, can we get a copy of it or something like, I mean.
Well, it's for parks and recreation
I know,
improvements.
but I mean, do we have within Parks and Recreation, what we specifically would spend right now based on, I know we have an idea of this, stuff's gonna cost us $15 million, how we would spend it.
It's about 13.2, and each different park, we've got various and sundry elements on it. J.L. King Park, for example, they'll bring the lighting, the McKee Park.
Do we have a list of things that would add up to 13.2 or
Yes,
13.5
we
or
do.
14?
Yes, we do.
It actually adds up to more than that, so
Oh.
they're working on reducing the scope of
Do
some of
you
that.
have, I mean, is there any way to get a copy of it, or is
Sure.
it attached to it? It's not, I didn't see it in the document.
No,
like
it's
it
not.
had the
No, it's
bond,
not
so,
attached to the document. No, but we can take it. We can take it off consent, and then
Discuss that, maybe get a copy of it, somebody can bring that or something like that.
we'll see if we can. We'll see what we can get between now and the time we take it up. Okay, so we'll take that one off consent. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Well, I have a motion. I need a second. That's what I was needing. Second from Alderman Carver. All right. With that change, I have a motion and a second for the official agenda with the consented items as modified. Do I have, let's see, if you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name. I'll get back in the swing of that. Thank you.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks.
Yay.
Alderman Beatty.
Yeah.
Alderman Sistrum.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, thank you. It is unanimous, and with that, I will read the consented items. First, we have consideration of the minutes of the March 17th, 2023 work session of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville. Then we have consideration of the minutes of the March 21st, 2023 recess meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville. Then under Mayor's business, we have item A, consideration of calling for public hearings on amending the sanitation ordinance to address charges to non-account holders for vacant property and provide language for current operations and other related matters. B is consideration of approving 6-month contract with narrative 12 for communication and media services related to city projects and activities. And then under department business, we have the airport. 1, request approval of the lowest quote for the assembly of corporate hangar and related from King Metals in the amount of $42,000 from the 2023 AIP/bill grant. It's easy for me to say. Number 2 is request approval of the work authorization number 23-01 2023 terminal project, design of building, parking, and related improvements with Clearwater Consultants, Inc., in the amount of $459,140 from the FAA Airport Terminal Grant Program. 3 is request approval to advertise for airport engineering consultant services for June 2023 through May 2028 at the George M. Bryan Airport. B is under community development planning is consideration of FP 23-01, a request for a final plat approval for Lot 1-A and Lot 1-B, College View Subdivision Number 1 at 201 Herbert Street in a TN-E zoning district with parcel number 117M-00-253.00 with one condition. Under engineering, we have consideration of approving the proposal from Atwell and Ghent to prepare bid documents for bidding assistance for the electrical materials package related to the Highway 182 build grant project. 2 is request to approve revision 1 of the City of Starkville standards of design and specifications to align with recent UDC revisions. 3 is request authorization to approve the sole source quote from Covington Sales and Service, Inc. for a conveyor belt with chain for the asphalt patching truck in the amount of $10,225. 4 is consideration of approving Springer Engineering to perform engineering design, construction, administration, inspection, and testing for the 2023 Soul Cement and DBST roadway project at a cost of $20,900 for recent annexed roads. 5 is consideration of approval to select Garver Engineering as the construction engineering and inspection CE&I consultant for the Spring Street and Highway 12 intersection TAP project using MDOT small purchase procedure. Authorize the mayor to negotiate and sign an engineering services contract. Under E, finance, we have number 2, approval of the fiscal year 23 budget adjustments. F, Fire Department, number 1 is request authorization for Fire Marshal Mark McCurdy and Captain Dwayne Davis to travel to Gulfport, Mississippi to attend the 2023 MFIA Spring Seminar in April at an approximate total cost of $3,000. 2 is request authorization for Fire Marshal Mark McCurdy and Fire Inspector Jonathan Wade to travel to Gulfport, Mississippi to attend the Building Officials Association of Mississippi's summer conference and training event in June at an approximate total of $3,000. Human Resources, number 1 is request authorization to hire Bonnie Brumley Edwards as an administrative assistant for the Community Development and Human Resources Department. 2 is request approval of the promotion of Sylvester Davis to the rank of Battalion Chief, Sam Wilkes to the rank of Captain, Joshua Cox to the rank of Lieutenant, and Stephen Boren to the rank of Sergeant in the Starkville Fire Department. 3 is request authorization to hire Nia Robinson as a customer service representative in the Starkville Utilities Department. Under Parks, we have request authorization to advertise for bids for the J.L. King football field lighting project. Under Parks 2 is consideration and discussion to approve the lowest quote, $14,741.75 from Rec Team Sports for youth baseball and softball season. Under Police, item A is request approval for Corporal Robert Higueras and Officer Diego Soto Chief, pronounce this for me. Soto Meneses. I'm going to get that right eventually. Forgive me. To attend the Mid-South Motor Cops Wings and Wheel Foundation training event and competition April 17th through 20th, 2023 in South Haven with expenses not to exceed $1,200. B is request approval for Corporal Tanya McWhorter to attend Crisis Intervention Team CIT training through the Mental Health Awareness and Response Training, MHART, to be held at the Pascagoula Police Academy in Moss Point, April 24th to 28th, 2023, at a cost not to exceed $800. C, consideration to approve the list of City of Starkville unmarked cars for fiscal year 2023 under Section 25-187. Under Utilities, we have 1 is request authorization to approve the lowest lease amount for a multifunctional printer with J.T. Ray Company in the amount of $139 monthly for 60 months. 2 is request authorization to approve Garver as the preferred consultant to provide the wastewater treatment plant comprehensive evaluation and to request authorization for the mayor to negotiate and execute an engineering consultant contract in accordance with Mississippi procurement procedures. 3, request approval of Neil Schaefer as the preferred consultant to provide the water system and treatment comprehensive evaluation and authorization for the mayor to negotiate and execute an engineering consultant contract in accordance with Mississippi procurement procedures. 4 is request approval of a Code of Standards of Conduct resolution for the City of Starkville Babylon Road Sewer Improvements CDBG project. And 5 is request approval of a fair housing resolution and declare April as Fair Housing Month for the City of Starkville Community Development Block Grant. And that concludes the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. And forgive me for Mr. Soto Meneses' pronunciation. I'm just going to call him Officer Soto. I've said that, and I'm just going to do it. So, anyway. And in the back, do we have Mr. Burnett? Would you mind see if you could get up with Chris Miller and get him to email you the information related to the parks?
Mayor, we'll just send it to Joel.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, we'll be ready for that then. Thank you so much. Y'all are on top of it. Okay, next item on our agenda is going to be announcements and comments, and I get to make a couple of comments and announcements and introductions, which is always one of my favorite things to do. So, we will start with introductions. We have 3 employees that we're going to introduce, and Mr. Kemp, 2 of those folks are yours, I believe. All 3 are yours. I apologize. They are all 3 yours, aren't they? Okay. We'll start with Mr. Scott. John is a native of Benton, Kentucky. He's a 1986 graduate of Mississippi State University with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. John is married to Cindy Jennings Scott, and they have 2 adult children, Sarah and Cameron. In 2021, John retired from Entergy with 35 years of service, after which he and his wife relocated to the Starkville area in March of 2022. John held progressive leadership positions with Entergy in Mississippi and Louisiana. At retirement, he was a senior transmission grid manager for Entergy Mississippi, providing strategic direction and oversight for day-to-day maintenance, emergency response, reliability, and renewal of assets for the 200-plus substations and 3,000-plus miles of transmission lines, serving 461,000 customers in Entergy's Mississippi footprint. We are very grateful to have you and all the experience you bring with us. Thank you. Next, we have Connor Caraway, Accounting and Finance Manager. Connor is a native of Clarksdale, Mississippi. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from Delta State University in 2010. He began working at Safety Cart shortly after graduation. He was also employed with Delta Oil Mill and later with Mid-South Ag in the accounting department. Connor relocated to Starkville in 2020 and began working for a small local public accounting firm. He and his wife Lacey have a dog named Maverick, and we are delighted to have you with us. Thank you. And last but not least, Noah Jones, Apprentice Lineman 1. He's originally from Eupora. He attended Holmes Community College and previously worked in the private sector building power lines for a contractor He's engaged to Raylan Cooper, and they live in Eupora, Mississippi. Another Eupora native. In fact, I'm about to call your name, so one of the things that I wanted to do is highlight the folks who are working up in Amory for us, for them, on behalf of our utilities department. And Mr. Jones has been up there doing that, and I know Mr. Scott has been up there checking on folks, so we're very grateful that you would go up there and do that. So thank you. And with that in mind, I will acknowledge David Leal and David Hatfield and Caleb Harris, Josh Lanier, and Miles Chamley, in addition to Mr. Jones. So we thank them all, and we'll look forward to when they're getting back. And you think perhaps this week sometime?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Lovely to have you in town. All righty. Also, I wanted to announce that we are very grateful. The legislature closed their session, I think, midnight, Friday night, maybe, or Saturday. And we have been awarded $2 million for our Main Street project. It was in $1,500,000 and another $500,000. So we're very grateful to our legislators, Rob Robertson and Bart Williams, Angela Turner Ford, and Sheck Taylor were all instrumental in helping us achieve that additional funding for our Main Street project. So I'm very excited about that and grateful to them, and have told them so. So when we get a chance to see them, let's be sure and thank them. So that's all I have for comments. Do we have anything from the board? Alderman Carter.
No, ma'am.
Alderman Rupp.
No, ma'am.
Alderman Brooks.
No, ma'am.
Alderman Beatty. Alderman Sister.
No, ma'am.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
No, ma'am, Mayor. Thank you.
Alderman Vaughn.
No, ma'am, Mayor, thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. Next, we have citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for anyone wishing to share information with us. You have 3 minutes in which to do so, and we will look forward to hearing from you. Mr. Turner, glad to see you.
All right, good evening to the mayor and board. My name is Alvin Turner, Ward 7. To the mayor, to the police chief, to the fire chief, and to sanitation. The citizen, we have a few things that we are hoping and praying. In the coming months, we'll be having repasses, and we'll be having class reunions, and we'll be having family reunions, and we're hoping we don't know what the status is of the Nemo Center. We're hoping that that the B&W and the post rental being not too high for us. Also, I had a friend some years back. He had automatic, and he did not know that even though if you can take the clip out, you still have a live round in the chamber. And just be careful that when you're dealing with automatic, you have to, even though you took the clip out, you have to make sure that you don't have a live round in the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone else wishing to speak under citizens' comments? Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Good evening.
If you would tell us your name, please.
Oh, my name is Jashawn Conyers.
Mr. Conyers.
Yes, I just had a few issues, or a few questions I just had about the previous meeting you all had on the 21st. There was a consideration for PP 23-01 for a subdivision, and I guess I happened to miss exactly if you all had addressed it or went over anything about it, just to figure out what you all's decision was on it, because it was for Camden Green subdivision over on east side of Reed Road. So I was just wondering, was it approved, or did anyone go over it, or?
If you would like to visit with our community development, our city planner, or Mr. McCaskey in the back, he'll be able to help you. Anything else?
Okay. And also one more, well, I guess they might fall under them as well, because I know you all they were recently going to the Board of Adjustments and Appeals about redoing the parking lot for Brooksville Gardens, for the apartment complex there. And I couldn't find any information on if it was approved, because I know they said if it was approved,
We're taking it up
would
this
come
evening.
here. Okay. Okay. But yes, that was basically all I had for it. Was just to figure, okay, it was fine if they're doing the parking lot, but wondering what their time frame would be later on as far as if they were going to do the apartment complex itself.
All right.
But that's
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.
Mr. McCaskey will be happy to help.
All right, thank you.
All right, anyone else? Anyone else? All right, seeing none, I will close it for citizens' comments. We have one public appearance that we are, there we go. Now we're hiding in the back. Mr. Sparks of the Tennessee Valley Authority has been gracious enough not to wear his Ole Miss colors tonight.
I can make it official.
He's got his TVA uniform on, so he wishes to make a presentation, so we're looking forward to that.
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Aldermen, it's a pleasure to be with you tonight. I'm David Sparks with the Tennessee Valley Authority, and I'm here tonight and appreciate the opportunity to meet with you on behalf of TVA to recognize the strong partnership that we have with Starkville Utilities and the City of Starkville. We're also here to celebrate some outstanding success, and I want to thank Mr. Edward Kemp, his team, Starkville Utilities, and the citizens of Starkville for making this possible. Starkville Utilities has really worked closely with TVA historically. We have an office here in town, and we have a strong, long-lasting relationship. And our mission statement is to make life better for all people of the Valley. And through the programs and the Energy Right portfolio that Starkville promotes, we have been able to do that. And we're here to celebrate some success because the City of Starkville and Starkville Utilities is a top performer in 2 of those programs. And this is really a big deal because we have 153 local power companies that we represent and sell electricity to across 7 states. And Starkville Utilities is a top performer in 2 of the categories versus 153 other local power companies, right? Starkville Utilities today is 3rd place in home energy workshops with 4,495 kilowatt hours of energy saved, representing 14.29% of the entire program, and that's outstanding. And if that's not enough, they're also 3rd place in the new homes program with 431,049 kilowatt hours of efficient energy added as a percentage of sales, and that represents 1,801 carbon tons of CO2 that we've avoided through efficient homes. So congratulations. And from the entire team at TVA, at Energy Right, I want to congratulate not just Edward, but the city and the citizens of Starkville and Mississippi for participating in these programs, these tremendous accomplishments, and say thank you for the partnership and enduring trust that you provided by letting us work with you. Thank the neighborhoods of the community too, because without them it's not possible. And I know Edward had some success last week with some workshops that made the front page of the paper. So very pleased with the success you all are having. And with that, I will present Edward. Take it out, sir. With the Top Performer Award, which is really nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
And we even-
Congratulations.
And this is not the first year that Starkville Utilities has won one of these awards, so this is a repeat performance. So we appreciate the partnership. We appreciate the working relationship and the friendship. And whatever we can do in the future, we look forward to those opportunities.
We appreciate that partnership as
Yes.
well. It has served us well, and we expect it to in the future, so we look forward to continuing that relationship.
Well, absolutely. And we will be ramping up Good News energy efficiency programs and offerings, both business, industry, and residential. I know Edward is behind that and has mentioned it. So as we get those rolling, we look forward to having more and more opportunities to engage and help the citizens here in Starkville.
Well, TVA has been really good for us for industrial development purposes, as well as helping us with the bill grant work, and so we really do greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Helping move us forward.
Thank you. And we appreciate it too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Edward, you're going to have to put this in a trophy case. You're going to start a trophy case. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Next we move to public hearings. Our first public hearing is a consideration of a variance 23-02, which is a wall sign variance. Mr. Havlin.
It was laying right there a few minutes ago.
What, the remote?
This is a request by Columbia Industries for a variance from the maximum size of a wall sign at 101 Airport Road in an industrial zone. The applicant is requesting relief from the maximum allowed size, which is 150 square feet. They are proposing to do a 192 square foot sign. This request was noticed in accordance with UDC. 7 property owners of record were notified directly by mail, and a legal ad was published on March 7th, 2023. And a sign also placed on the property. As of this date, our office has received no response to that notification. On the screen is the criteria for variance review and approval, and on March 22nd, 2023, the Board of Adjustment of Appeals voted unanimously to recommend approval. If there are any questions.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Haviland before? Okay. All right. Is the applicant here?
Well, I've got one. Is that the same side that's already? Is that the same side that's already hanging up there on the temporary banner?
I don't have any.
I believe it
dimensions on
is,
that one,
yes.
but I believe it's close.
I believe it is. Yes. So is the applicant here? Back there. Do y'all have anything you wish to add? No, it's fine. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Any other? If not, I'll open it as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, now is the time, either for or against. Either for or against. Seeing none, I'll close it as a public hearing. And any comments or discussion from the board before we entertain a motion?
Move approval.
I have a motion
Second.
from Alderman Carver. I have a second from Alderman Rupp. Any discussion?
I just wanted to say we're glad you're in town.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
They're actually from Columbus.
I'm sorry?
They're the sign company from Columbus.
Okay. I thought maybe.
And I know them well, and I cautioned them not to speak.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we're glad to have you in town.
We are delighted, and we will move to a vote here in just a second, but your grand opening is on the 24th, I believe. So I'll say that now, and then we'll bring it up again later on. So, all right, so I have a motion and a second. If you would, please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks.
Yay.
Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrom.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, it is unanimous. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all being here. All right, next item is a public hearing consideration of SE 23-01, a special exception for deviation from parking requirements, and a variance 23-03 parking dimension variance request. So, Mr. Howard.
And they found the remote. This is a request by Springer Engineering on behalf of Triangle Development. It's for the Brooksville Gardens, which everybody's familiar where it's located. It is in a MDU 20 zone. The applicant is currently proposing to remodel the existing buildings. This is a complete gut rehab of every single building on the site. The proposed remodel includes repairs to the existing parking lot, but it does not add additional parking or change the dimensions of the parking lot. The applicant is requesting a relief from section 13.5.6.B.1, which requires 1.25 spaces per bedroom. The dimensional requirements for a parking lot are found in sections 14, 10, 14. The existing and proposed number of bedrooms is approximately 332. Under the current code, that would require 415 parking spaces. The number of existing and current proposed spaces is 191, so about 46%. The existing parking lot does not meet the current dimensional requirements. That's like the width of the drive aisle, the width from front of stall to front of stall. So both of those together would require a special exception and a variance request, or variance approval. The request was noticed in accordance to the UDC. 19 property owners of record were notified directly by mail, and an ad was in the Starkville Daily News on March 12th, and a sign placed on the property. And as of this date, we've received no response to the notification. This is the criteria in the UDC for a special exception. On March 29th, at a special call meeting, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to recommend approval of the special exception request. That's for the reduction in the number of parking. And this is the requirements for the variance approval. And on March 29th, a special call of the Board of Adjustment of Appeals, they voted unanimously to recommend approval of the request with one condition of approval. And that condition is that the variance does not apply to the dimensions of an ADA parking space. We can't really restrict those any more than the federal law allows. And if there are any questions.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Hammond? Mr. Carter?
I was just thinking, I mean, this is a big number to decrease from 415 to 191. Do you recommend this?
It's kind of like when we've had the previous requests come up where they're condos. It's sort of a different animal than like a standard apartment complex. Just for what this is doing, it's generally families that don't have multiple cars. So it's not as much of an issue as, say, a college student housing project. Those are generally kids from out of town that all of them have cars, and then all their friends have cars. So in this case, I have no issue with the reduction in spaces.
So it goes from 2.1 per dwelling to, what does the 191 come out, like 1.5?
Yeah, it's significantly lower, probably like 0.7, something like that.
As you recommend?
Yeah, from what I understand, there was no issue previously, and they're not adding any additional bedrooms. So.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Beatty?
Thank you, Mayor. So this is not reducing the number of parking places. This is what they got now, right?
Correct.
It just doesn't meet the new code, right?
Correct.
But still, that's an improvement. So
Yep.
that's a big deal. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Alderman Vaughn?
Mr. Hamlin, did they say anything about taking those electric heaters out of that side of that wall over the door casing, over the window casing?
I believe they're adding central heat and air in all the units, but the applicants are here. They could speak more on the actual buildings. I've been focused more on the site stuff right now, but I believe it's a complete down to the stud rehab of every building.
Okay. Anyone else before I, okay. If the applicant, I know the applicant is here, anything you wish to add to? Mr.
Mayor,
if you're going to speak, you're going to have to come forward so we can capture you in a microphone.
see if these old meetings will get it back up here one more time. I'm Jim Mazingo. I'm one of the attorneys for Triangle Development in this project and whatnot. We're here. I've got all our people here to answer questions for you if you have to, but we don't have anything to add. We had long discussion with both the Planning and Zoning Board as well as the Adjustments and Appeals people beforehand and presented whatever they wanted, and I think have reconciled everything they have. If anybody has anything else, I am happy to get folks up here and answer whatever questions you have, but otherwise we're ready to move forward.
Okay, any questions of the applicant? Alderman Beatty?
What's the timetable for renovation of the buildings?
Scott King?
I'm just curious.
Let me introduce you to Scott King from Triangle Development.
Scott King from Triangle Development. To your question, the timetable for renovations is roughly 15 months from the start of the first demolition of the first phase. This is going to progress in 3 phases, given the current status of the property and current occupancy of the property. To your question, regarding the heaters, this is a full gut rehab, all the way down to the studs. It's being brought up to modern living standards, modern code. So, Bill Gardens currently doesn't have central heat and air, which is obviously difficult in Mississippi not to have an air conditioner. So that's a part of this. Everything will be modernized, throughout each unit. And so to your point, those systems they're obsolete and they'll obviously be demolished.
Alderman Beatty, you still have the floor.
Would be the same number of units? Would be a reduction in the amount of units? When you get through, how many units compared to what's
The same number of units, same number of bedrooms. There's this roughly the same layout.
That's super. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. Yes, sir. With that, I'll open it as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this particular item, either for or against, now is your opportunity.
All right, good evening to the mayor and board. My name is Alvin Turner. All right, that is good news for everyone because we have had a couple people, they got put out because they transferred from that area and housing authority. They got put out because they felt that they could shoot at each other. But we do not tolerate that. We do not tolerate drugs. That's automatically termination. But we are glad to hear that we'll try to redo the Brooklyn Garden area, and probably it'd be better to do a background check on the people because that's very one of our concerns, that they do a background check on you to make sure that you're safe.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone else wishing to speak either for or against?
name is Willie Nash. I live at 209 Holland Street. That's on the west end of Brookford Garden, about really 2 houses away from Brookford Garden. My mother bought a house there 50 years ago, so I was raised there, so I'm more familiar with Brookford Garden probably than anyone. I saw it when it was created until it got to the condition it is at the present time. And I attended the meetings and looked over the plans, and I feel that this development is a development that we really need, and it's been needing for a long time. I feel that I know you was discussing the parking and the parking area, and as I told the engineers, I don't feel that that should be a big issue. Really, I think the less parking is even better, because in the past, the problem that they had in Brookford Garden is the people that didn't live there was coming in, and they would park their vehicles, play the music loud. I know because I had to call the policemen and nights to have it, you know, eliminated. So, and as I told them, I hope that the parking issue shouldn't be a problem. I'm just glad that the project is taking place. And I feel that that would be an asset to that area over there. I feel that that was the only eyesore that we have in that community area, because we're located next to the hospital. There's a great park over there and everything. So by upgrading that, that would just make it a little more like a 5-star area. So I hope the board take that in consideration and approve this project.
Thank you, Mr. Nash. All right, anyone else? Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close it as a public hearing. If there's no further discussion among the board members, I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
This motion, we confirm the unanimous decision by the Planning Zoning Board, and we approve the exception as requested by the owners of Brookford Gardens.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Beatty. Do I hear a second from Alderman Vaughn?
Second.
All right, I have a second from Alderman Vaughn. If you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks. Yay. Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, it is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. We'll look forward to the progress being made.
15 months.
All right, thank you. Next item is a public hearing consideration of 21-1911 to determine whether the property located at 109 Roosevelt Taylor Senior Street, previously known as Beatty Street, with a parcel number is a menace to the public health, safety, and welfare of the community. Officer Perez.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board of Aldermen. This is 109 Roosevelt Taylor Senior Street, previously known as Beatty Street. It was, it's owned by a Patricia Nelson who lives in California. This is my first inspection of the property on February 9th. As you can see, it is extremely overgrown. These were letters that were sent. The first notice of violation on February 10th. My second inspection was on February 22nd. The property was still overgrown. On March 8th, public notice was posted at City Hall, as well as posted on or sent through the mail, certified mail. On March 10th, it was posted on the property. As you can see, the overgrowth was cleaned at that point. There was still a lot of debris left on the side of the road, as well as all the blocks and everything that were left on the property. On March 20th, I conducted another inspection. The debris that was on the side of the road had been removed. The blocks are still present at that time. And this is from the 10th to the 20th, the change, as well as from the first inspection to the last inspection, the change. I have been in contact with that property owner regarding the blocks and everything having to be removed as well, and she is willing to get that taken care of. But that's the only thing left on the property that needs to be taken care of.
Okay, and clearly that progress has been made.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So any questions of Officer Perez? All right, I'll put the lights back on. We'll open it as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak either for or against this item? Anyone wishing to speak either for or against? All right, if not, I'll close it as a public hearing. And I will also say, just as a point of reference, that this particular property and what was left on the side of the road is what generated the reason for the sanitation ordinance modification, is because that, obviously a vacant lot has no account with the sanitation department. So we cleaned up the street, but I think that the homeowners or the property owners should be held accountable for that. So anyway, I need a motion for us to
Move approve.
all right, I have a motion from Alderman Vaughn. Do I have a second?
Second. Let me ask you this, the motion is to what, Alderman Vaughn, what?
Is to declare it as 21-19-11.
I mean, it's,
Yes.
public health safety, I mean, we're saying we've done the
Not all the cleanup. There's remaining cleanup to be done. So as long as it's before us, we go ahead and do that, and that way we can monitor it.
Okay.
And if it continues to be a problem, then we've done our due diligence and made our declaration. Okay. Alderman Rupp, would you a second? Okay. All right. If you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks.
Yay.
Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right. It is unanimous. Thank you very much. And we have one more, so it would be a public hearing for 617 West Main.
This is going to be 617 West Main Street, Starkville, Mississippi. The owner is Carolyn Forsythe. The first inspection was done on February 9th. As you can see in the picture, the roof has some damage to it. There is damage to the northeast side of the brick is coming away from the wall there, as well as the panels on the side of the house are falling off and the wood is rotting. This is an opening next to the air conditioning unit from the window where critters are accessing. You can see like where they had built a nest there on the inside. This is the back of the house on the south side of it. There are panels missing on the siding. There's also where the concrete steps have fallen away from the doorway. It's the west side of the property. That unit is being held up with a 4x4 right there. This is the awning over the driveway. It is considerably damaged. The center bar that holds up the awning has fallen down, and as you can see, the openings throughout the top of it. This is the first notice of violation letter that I sent on February 10th. This is the second inspection on February 22nd, where there has been no change in the property, and I had not received any contact from the property owner.
Okay, so you've not heard from them. We have no contact with them.
No.
We don't know the
No,
status at
No,
all.
ma'am.
Okay, and there's been no indication of any kind of cleanup or acknowledgement.
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
On March 8th was when I posted the public hearing at City Hall, as well as mailed and posted at the property. This is the photos showing still no change has been done
Okay, and we've confirmed no one is living there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Any questions of Officer Perez before I open it as a public hearing? Okay, seeing none. I'll open this as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak either for or against the declaration of this as a 21-1911 property, now would be the time. Anyone? Seeing none, I'll close it as a public hearing. Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Ma'am,
Alderman Vaughn.
let me see, can I find some contact?
Okay, let me cut the lights back on.
Let me see, can I find some contact, because that's Mr. Vince Forsyth, mom property. So let me see, can I get with Mr. Vince Forsyth and contact you, Ms. Perez?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we need to go ahead and do that. We have time, and we don't have to do anything immediately while you're having the opportunity to try to talk to Mr. Forsyth. But if we can go ahead and make that
With the
declaration.
process.
So,
Move approval.
all right, I have a motion for approval from Alderman Vaughn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Carver. If you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks.
Yay.
Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, thank you. That is unanimous. All right, the next item is a second public hearing, consideration of amending the Unified Development Code for right-of-way protection and damage to public infrastructure. Mr. Burnett, anything you wish to share with us as it relates to this particular? Have you heard from anyone?
I haven't heard from anybody. I've reached out to a few contractors, asked a few colleagues, and really no major pushback. I've had some feedback, but really no updates since last time.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Burnett while we have him before I open it as a public hearing? All right. Seeing none. Alderman Baker.
Mr. Burnett, this is customary. I guess requirement we're going to have to hold contractors' feet to the fire on this pertains to that, right? To tearing up streets and things like that. Or
Yes, sir.
Other cities do this, right? I mean, this is something that's customary.
This is a model ordinance from some other communities that have used similar language, and we've kind of changed it some to fit our needs. The city attorney has had a chance to look at it, but common, yes, sir, it's common.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. I'll open it as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this item? This will be under consideration here momentarily. Anyone? Seeing none, I'll close it as a public hearing. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
A motion from Alderman Sistrunk. Do I have a second?
Sorry.
Second from Alderman Beatty. If you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks. Alderman Brooks.
You may have lost him. All right, we'll show him his. Oh, okay, there we go. Back on.
Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, it is unanimous. Thank you so much. All right, the next item we have is first public hearing to adopt an ordinance to allow for tax abatements in the city of Starkville Central Business District and in recognized historic districts. Any discussion from the board before we open it as a public hearing?
I'd just like to say it's an economic development tool. It is common in other communities in the state. Each exception has to come before the board and be approved. If it does become an ordinance here in Starkville, I anticipate that we will develop an application process that is reviewed prior to coming to the board. But each one is a standalone exception. The abatement can be given in certain historic districts. It can also be given in anything the city defines as a central business district. It can be any or all ad valorem taxes. It does not apply to sales taxes. Again, used in other communities as a way to encourage business development throughout whatever area they have chosen to try to incentivize development.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any comments?
Yeah,
Alderman Baker?
question. Sister, does this apply to increased value, or is it supposed to be an abatement of all ad valorem tax?
As I understand it from the MML session that I attended, it can be any or all. It can be the
We choose.
incremental portion. It can be the incremental portion. It can be the entire amount. And just for a point of reference, for the city of Starkville, if you had a $1 million commercial tax valuation with our current tax assessment, that translates to less than $5,000 that we would be able to waive if we waived everything related to that particular project.
Cities have one.
The city, the
county,
cities,
no, county
the
schools
county,
do.
the county can enact similar legislation, and I hope that they would.
Anything further? All right, then I will open it as a public hearing. This is the first public hearing. We will not be considering the adoption of it this evening, but this will give anyone wishing to an opportunity to speak to this matter. Anyone wishing to speak either for or against? All right, seeing none, I will close it as a public hearing, and we will move to the next item of business, which is now, it was removed from the consent agenda. This is the resolution for the issuance of general obligation public improvement bonds for parks and recreation improvement projects in the principal maximum amount of $15 million. And, well, let me finish. So on the board, we have here the proposed expenditures and the various parks, et cetera, and I will cut the lights off yet again so that it can be seen.
For those who aren't aware, or perhaps who don't remember, this is just a continuation of our master plan for the parks that we've looked at off and on over the last 2+ years. And so as we're getting close to having Cornerstone Park opened, we're focusing our attention on our other parks. And so we think that we have sufficient revenues in our 1% and 2% tax monies to fund this bond issue without having, with using just that restricted revenue stream that has to be used for parks. There are improvements at every park, some more than others, but the Needmore Center that we've talked about earlier tonight is one of the projects that's on there. J.L. King will expand their water park area, their water splash pad area, get lights for the football field, do some other things like that. McKee, as we take away those old baseball and softball fields at McKee, will get a playground, a splash pad, a dog park, and right now we're still in a design phase, and we're still in a whittling the elements that we can afford down to fit within our means. So, but it is part and parcel of that master plan that we've been visiting off and on for a couple of years.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I can't read that.
Can you blow that up? Can we blow that up?
But, maybe, Sister, could you just go through and just tell us what project and how much and what the total is and stuff?
Well, we don't know how much, but these are estimates.
I have Mr. Burnett back here who can do that.
And until we bid, we don't know. Is what I was going to say.
But this is based on preliminary cost estimates, so right? It's 15 million.
It's just best guess.
So these estimates are totals. They don't tell you every single item. Now, we have that information for each part, but we could generally tell you what's included in those numbers, you know, what the anticipated cost is. Some are farther along than others. McKee is the outlier at this point. Everything else is fit to budget, pretty close. McKee is a little bit over where Chase is for grant funding and also trying to cut scope. So between those two things, trying to get that down to the estimated total.
What's planned for Moncrief? Is anything planned for Moncrief?
Yep, so Moncrief, we are working on fixing the wall, addressing the roof, some of the damages of the roof. We're doing the budget option for the pool to get it up and running, but it's not the full redo. And then some improvements down at the dog park.
What's the expenditure in Moncrief?
I believe it's $150,000. Yeah.
What's the total on the thing? 13 million. Do we think we have expenditures for based on the funding cost estimates? 13 what?
13.5 is what we're targeting. Yes, sir.
I mean, I would propose to the board that we go back, and I don't know what kind of feelings y'all have toward this, but I've spoken to this since I've been on the board, and it's been over 3 years, about the possibility of a major redo for the swimming pool or a new swimming pool for Moncrief Park. And I keep going to communities, and I keep seeing these real nice swimming pools. This city swimming pool out in Vicksburg Sunday. and they got, you know, it's probably 12, 15 years old, but it's not. It's really not. And Tupua's real nice. And go places. Now I don't go. It's not just out of state. I'm talking about in-state, where these cities have built these real nice municipal pools. And I know there's been some talk about moving the swimming pool over to the sportsplex or over to the Key Park, something like that. I mean, I think the swimming pool anchors Moncrief Park, and it serves an underserved community, the people that may not be able to have options on private clubs and things like that. It's you know, we've had a swimming pool over 70 years. And I mean, I don't know, but I don't want to. I'd like to know the board's thoughts on that, and if there's any sentiment at all to, because we're putting in, you know, all kind of, you know, walking trails, and we're putting in, you know, all kind of stuff, and 13 million new community centers and things like that. And but consistently, the pool gets either eliminated or pushed back on the back burner. And what we're doing now is just kind of band-aiding a 70-year-old swimming pool, and I don't think that the improvements we're going to make on the pool house itself, there's no cosmetic. We put the roof on because we have to have roofs now on buildings, and we repair one of the dressing rooms that a car went through. But it's still, after it's all said and done, that's still a 70-year-old pretty marginal facility. And I don't know. I mean, in other communities, and I won't get off too much in this, but I see there's more, I don't know, support for swimming facilities. I mean, not Tupelo style with indoor natatorium, you know, where they have competition, stuff like that, but just a newer and a significantly updated regular swimming pool. And but I don't know. I mean, I'd like to know what the board thinks about that, because we're doing a lot of stuff. And $13.5 million worth of work in every park in our city is a lot of work for the swimming pool thing, just to get, you know, there again, just bump down the bottom and left out. And I don't represent Moncrief Park anymore. I mean, I was given the east side out there where the new folks are. You know, that's just the way that the redistricting got carved up. You know, so I don't have it in my district anymore, but it's still something I think is important. And I mean, I like Mayor. I should like to start with you and all the sisters with you, and just kind of go down the line and just let's talk about a swimming pool. And heck, if y'all don't think it's a good idea, I don't say anything else about it. But I will say this: I see nice swimming facilities in other cities, and there is a place in a community that's spending it. I mean, this is $15 million worth of bonds for the newspaper and everybody out there. $15 million worth of bonds, and we've already got upwards of 25, 26. We issued $25 million, you know, several years ago. That's $40 million worth of general obligation of bonds that we're doing for new facilities, Cornerstone Park, which is a great thing, and then for rehabbing and rebuilding and renovating existing facilities. But what's gotten left off the list? No consideration at all is the swimming pool thing. So I mean, I just open that up because I think the public ought to know kind of what they think about swimming pools and kind of where the city stands on that, because I consistently, you know, spoken in favor of that, and all we got right now is about how much is the pool, the little pool house thing we're doing?
$150,000.
No, I'm talking about, okay, $150,000 just on the swimming pool, or is it?
In Moncrief total.
In Moncrief total, but that's dog park and some other stuff, right?
Minor things with the dog park, some fence repairs. I think most of it's at the pool, but there are some funds down at the park.
But, I mean, so I mean, I guess I just open that up and, you know, tell me I won't ever mention it again. But I think it needs to be on the record that there is support or there's not support for moving toward a swimming pool, making a decision of whether that swimming pool would be at Moncrief Park or whether it would be at the Sportsplex in the Key Park or whatever, because it consistently gets dropped down or just eliminated pretty much from all the capital expenditures that we're doing on parks and recreation and existing parks and city stalls. So I yield.
Okay, and I'm happy to respond to that actually, because yes, if you would please. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, we'll get the lights. Because it doesn't get forgotten. It gets analyzed to the point where it doesn't make the same fiscal sense for usage that the other parts of the park do, to be perfectly honest. So we have looked at the numbers that have used the pool over the last couple of years. You couple the problem with the getting lifeguards and that sort of thing. We've had trouble getting them. Of course, we were in COVID years. But also more recently, with the change in the school year, we don't know right now when we're going to be able to have usage of the park, because now people are going to school with intersessions being the day, the rule of the day these days. Between that and spending what would probably end up being somewhere between 5, 6, 7 million on a new pool.
Is that right?
Well,
$5, $6 million on a pool on swimming pool.
well, depending on what we want to do, you're going to have to. You're looking at it in a
I
large.
mean, if you got a building, do that what Tupelo did. That's that kind of swimming pool, isn't it? With the
No, a
competitions.
natatorium? No,
Oh.
that's what 10, 12 million.
But I mean, just a swimming pool,
Plus-
$5 million,
plus
$6 million.
Yeah, plus operations. So let me finish my thought process here. So usage has been an issue. Timing is an issue. If you're spending that kind of money for only 3 months during the summertime and you aren't covering it, then I don't think that's a wise expenditure of a huge amount of money that has minimal usage and less interest in the community than it used to. I grew up. I went to the swimming pool. That swimming pool, I was dropped off in the morning and they came and picked me up when I was wrinkled in a prune at the end of the day. So, but times have changed. People are not doing that any longer. And so I struggle with whether or not it is a reasonable use of a huge amount of public dollars with a payback for the community in a way that makes sense these days. If we had unlimited resources, I would love us to have a natatorium that's enclosed. They could have swim meets. They could have the high school could use it. It would be used year-round, and that would be lovely. But that's a huge expense. So from my perspective, I don't see the return on the investment that makes sense for right now, given what we've got going on. I've got the floor. Still got the floor. So from that perspective of a return on investment, the amount of use, the difficulty of finding lifeguards, the intercession or the schools with intercessions only these days that have changed the way that we go to school. You don't have 3 months of blank time. That is my thought process and my rationale. And I love swimming and would love for people to have it, but I do think that there are better and higher uses for our funds at this point in time. So that's that.
Let me count.
Alderman Carver wanted the floor.
My opinion is, I think the pool's in a poor location. I worked there, obviously lifeguarded for many years and throughout high school. And I think in a perfect world, I'd like to see. We tend to visit, and a lot of people from Starkville tend to visit Fayette, Alabama. I encourage everybody in here to jump in the car and drive an hour. People drive from multiple states to get there. I would like to research that. In my opinion, I think the pool needs to be covered over where it sits. I think it's got a leakage issue that's been going on for 20 plus years that I know of. I'd like to turn that into a phenomenal, little or nothing, you can turn it into a pickleball court. I know we're hurting for areas for that. There's the Pickleball Association actually has brought that concept to me several times of utilizing that location. But I'd like to see a recreational facility like Fayette, Alabama has right beside the Travis Outlaw Sports Center. I just think the pool, and due to location, just like prime real estate, I don't know if it just gets forgotten because it's tucked in a fast curve over a drop steep in a hill. I don't know what it is. The pool's never had just a lot of usage, and I think it's more than anything, it's just a location. I think if you saw a big red and yellow slide out there, on Lynn Lane, I think your revenue generation would be off the charts. In my opinion, do we have the funds to do it? Probably not at this moment. I do like what you're saying about like Delta State Olympic-sized swimming pool indoors and getting full utilization year-round. I know that's a lot more pricier, but we could definitely look into what Fayette, Alabama has done because they have made a money-making machine over there that fills up every time we've ever been. You start talking to people and they're coming from 2 to 3 states to a little bitty town in Alabama that's got one of the best swimming pools. And then it's just a lazy river and two pools and a kiddie pool and a big splash pad. So look into that and you can Google it and find pictures. I just think that pool, as long as it sits right there, if you're looking at taxpayer dollars are a little bit different than the private sector, but your return on investment is never really going to make it, in my opinion, at that location. Probably just from the location and nothing else. So, I yield.
All right, thank you. Alderman Sistrunk.
And I'd like to say that I think Alderman Carver's absolutely spot on about the location. If we were going to do a pool, we need to do it either in conjunction with the Sportsplex or out at Cornerstone or even up at J.L. King. They're those places where we have lots of space and lots of opportunities for parking and that sort of thing. So I don't think the Moncrief pool can be rehabbed to be what what we would want if we were doing a new pool now. The other thing I wanted to make very clear is that each of the parks that are up there, and I'm not sure quite how this happened, but they are in areas that serve populations that are low to moderate income. McKee, for instance, is on Lynn Lane, where there are lots and lots of apartments, and that opportunity to be outside and exercise and play and all the things that we want people to do are just not there, except at McKee or across the street at the Sportsplex, which is also on the list there. The J.L. King serves a similar community. So all the parks serve our community in different ways, but they are located so that they are particularly accessible to low to moderate income families. The other thing that I wanted to say was, while we've not focused on a pool, we have focused on trying to provide some water-related activities. The splash pad at J.L. King, I think, is used considerably. And by expanding it, you will have an opportunity to have another, entertain a larger group of people there. Adding a splash pad at McKee, it gives you another place to have a water-related activity. Not a pool, but something that you can do outside in the summer when it's hot. Operations are completely different. You don't have to staff it. You don't have to insure it in the same way. But it's similarly enjoyable. And I think the one, like I said, at J.L. King has been a great success, and will continue to attract more people as we expand it and add elements to it.
Okay, thank you. Let me go down the line. Alderman Rupp, anything you wish to add to any of this?
Yeah, I think all of us bring a slightly different frame of reference here. For me, my inability to swim is only rivaled by my inability to dance. So I've never been a big swimmer. Having said that, Mayor, you know I'm a tennis fanatic, and I think the tennis facilities in Starkville are woefully lacking. And then I say that, and then I see how pickleball is exploding. There were 30-some people at McKee Park last night. I bet there's going to be 40 tonight. And they just talked about what Tupelo is going to do and make a big, and I'm telling them to hold on. And I think that is a great activity for all ages, but particularly seeing our seniors out and active. I think that is has a lot of benefits. I'm not against the pool at all. You know, some folks love to swim, and I'd love to see us do it. But again, I'd argue how you pay for it and what's the best use of the dollars right now.
Wait. Alderman Rupp?
That's enough.
All right. Let me ask Alderman Brooks, and I'll come back to you, Alderman Beatty. Alderman Brooks, anything you'd like to add to this?
No, ma'am.
All right. Alderman Beatty.
How much is the McKee Park renovation costing? Well, we're going to take the ball fields out and build a playground and a walking track and a dog park. How much is that?
It's listed up
Current
there at
construction, and the current construction budget is at $6.5 million.
All right. I'm just going to say something. That's a great thing. But I think right now that we lacking some vision on what if the consensus would be to build a new swimming pool at the Sportsplex in that part of town, let's build a swimming pool down there. But I mean, I think we lack the vision as a board to see what a really nice swimming facility, maybe an indoor. So I don't know, maybe one where our high schools, we just built $1.5 million football field / soccer field so that we can have competitions out there that kind of feed in, the pros and stuff that feed into our high school. What about our swim teams at the high school and the academy and places like that? And I guess what I'm saying is we are spending a lot of money on some of these parks, and I don't know if we start looking at the cost-benefit stuff, how many people are going to utilize a walking path or something like that in a dog park, and maybe a lot of people. But I just think that when we don't consider rounding out the comprehensive nature of our recreation offerings in the city of Starkville, which would include a really nice swimming pool, we're not being visionary on that. And we're finding ways to spend $6.5 million on McKee Park and $4 million over here and $1.5 million here and to add up to $13.5 million. And a pool is nowhere in sight on that, and doesn't seem to be any support for that. And I guess I just don't understand it, because it's something to me that would be such an asset to our city, provide something for people that like to swim, and a lot of people do. And I will say this: the reason that probably a lot of the swimming has fallen off at Moncrief Park is because of the condition of the facilities. They're deplorable. And it's a city with 27,000 people that is sales taxes blowing and going, and we have the financial means to issue now what'll be $40 million worth of recreation bonds. And you mean we can't do a swimming pool somewhere, and we don't see that would be an asset to our city? Come on. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, and this won't get legs and won't go anywhere, and I'll say this a year from now, and nothing will have been done on it. But at least I want to go on record, newspapers, that I keep beating the drum for a new public swimming facility in the city of Starkville, and that I'd like some support and some help on the board for, finding a way or finding plans to be a way to be able to do this. I don't know whether I have any or not, but anyway, I yield.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor Perkins, any comments from you, sir?
Well, Mayor, very briefly, the matter on the agenda tonight is to approve the bond resolution. But as to the specific inquiry about a swimming pool, we can do an analysis of it. First of all, is there a strong demand for it? That's the first issue. I have not heard a strong demand for the continuation of a swimming pool. The Starkville Park Commission, at the time of it then existence, moved for the elimination of the swimming pool at the Jill King Park in the ward of gentlemen from number 7, and they went to the splash pad. And based on my recollection, there were a lot of maintenance and other related issues with the swimming pool over at the Jill King Park, which is one of the main reasons for the non-existence of it. And all this boils down to a policy and a budgetary decision. I have not been provided with any evidence of any strong demand for a swimming pool. And if, in fact, the Honorable Mayor and my colleagues, as well as myself, are provided with a strong demand for the continuation of a swimming pool, then the next question is do we have the available revenue or the financial capacity in light of all of our other high priority needs for our city? And if so, if it was high demand, then how would that, as the mayor mentioned, may cost $7 million more or less? And let's assume it does cost $7 million for a swimming pool. How is it going to fit into this budget? If I had to vote on this tonight, applying a cost-benefit analysis, I certainly agree with the comments of the mayor. I'm just not convinced that I would vote for a $7 million swimming pool or for the continuation of a swimming pool. If I had to really vote tonight, am I in favor of continuing the existence of a swimming pool? And the only one we have here is at the Moncrief Park. And on a roll call vote or any vote, clerk, I would be recorded voting no. We just cannot fund every request that comes up. We have to treat the taxpayers' dollars very conservatively. We are the guardian of the taxpayers' purse. So we have to make these hard decisions. I've served on a number of budget committees during my entire tenure as member of the Board of Aldermen. Our budget chair is doing a very outstanding job. And we must not forget that she is a certified public accountant. And you have to work hard for that degree. But Mayor, in closing, let me just say that number one is that I'm not aware of any strong evidence for the continuation of a pool, a swimming pool. I do not see, even if it existed any strong evidence, I do not see the available revenue being available to do that within the budget in which we operate. We have a lot of high-profile matters that have to be funded. We have the mandate on the retirement system that we got to discuss in August and vote on in August. We have the salary issue that is going to be up before us. We have the discussion that's left off from last year with the budget from last year. That matter is still alive and well. So I just do not see any money for a swimming pool. So if I had to vote tonight, Mayor, or any other night hereafter, my vote is no for a swimming pool. We just cannot fund everything as a government. We got to realize we have limited dollars, and those dollars are only going to come from certain sources. Either increasing the tax base or with our revenue stream. And we just do not have the money to do it. We are moving in the direction away from a public swimming pool. The Park Commission started this ball to rolling, and as evidence is shown tonight and before tonight, that the splash pad is a very great quality of life facility where it is benefiting residents from throughout our city. So it appears to me we just going to have to move away from a public swimming pool. We cannot, as a taxpayers body who make decisions for our city, continue to provide services for everything. We don't have the money. We got them just like our homes. You know, there are a lot of things husband wants, wife wants, children want, the family wants, but the line has to be drawn on the available revenue. So we got, and I'm going to draw the line right here tonight, and given all my experiences, I'm just going to call it as it is. I just don't, Mayor, I don't see our having the available funds to do a swimming pool this year, the next year, the next year. We just don't, it's just not an item that is a priority item. And I think that the public has to be really informed that, you know, that we just cannot afford this, and there's no mandate for it. So, Mayor, with all that being said, I'm going to say that I do not support funding a swimming pool at the Mine Creek Park or at any other location. So I yield, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. No, I'm going to go down to Alderman Vaughn. Alderman Vaughn.
It's just a few minutes. But first of all, with the location, you got to find a good quality location to put a pool. But in Mine Creek is at the same condition that West Side was at with this leak, this bad leak, and with the cost of you paying employees when you ain't make enough money you're not receiving enough money, don't have enough revenue to come in to even pay the employees. That's what happened at J.L. King Park, and because the cost of it was so expensive, and then you got your insurance, which is another expensive thing. So where would we put a large swimming pool here in the city of Starkville? But by using the splash pad, it have created a lot of more activity for people all around the city of Starkville, and it's been a great access because you can come over there at 8 o'clock in the morning, or you can come at 6 o'clock in the evening. You just come out find many people stay at that splash pad. So, you know, I'm not against a swimming pool, but where is the location going to be for that size swimming pool to accommodate the city of Starkville? Like you say, with 27,000 citizens in the city of Starkville, where are we going to get the accommodation from? What the location going to be? That's the main thing.
Okay. Thank you, Alderman Vaughn. Alderman Beatty, you have something else to
Yes,
add?
I'd like to respond to Alderman Perkins. You do know that the money that we'll deal with on the PERS is a general fund expenditure, and the money that we're going to build these parks and fund these parks recreation programs is through a special tax. You do know that, Vice Mayor. It's two different sets of money. And so, yes, we will deal with the budgetary issues with our general fund, and that's coming up pretty soon, and something that all the aldermen need to be involved in through the complete process. But that's different monies from the monies can be generated from the 3% hospitality, food and beverage, hotel tax, whatever you want to call it, through our local and private bill that we generate in the city of Starkville. Now, I would also ask this question. Is there strong demand, your statements, is there strong demand for a swimming pool and a cost-benefit? Who did a cost-benefit analysis on where a dog park and a walking trail at McKee Park was going? Did anybody do a cost-benefit analysis for spending $6.5 million for that versus a swimming pool? I don't think so. We just decided that's what we wanted. Certain persons on this board leading in that area have decided that's what they would like in that park, and so we get $6.5 million worth of dog park and walking trails and things versus swimming pool. That's just a priority of some people that are driving the decisions made in this Parks and Recreation money. I would say there's been no cost-benefit analysis done on what, I know there hadn't been, on what a walking trail and conversion of McKee Park and taking ball fields out of McKee Park is going to do from a standpoint of people's usage and stuff. It'll get used, but also, I think Alderman Carver mentioned that facility in Alabama. Gosh, I drove there one Sunday afternoon. You couldn't, I mean, that place was filled up with people. And those are people that can't belong to a country club. And they come to Fayette, Alabama, that want a place to recreate. And that place was full of folks. So we don't know. We've not done any cost analysis, benefit analysis. We've not done any kind of demand, determined demand for stuff like that. We just, people decide, I want something at a certain park, and they're getting it. And the swimming pool is getting left out, and I know there's no support for it, and the vice mayor has very firmly stated his position on that. I'm not surprised at it. But anyway, I would hope in the future that this board would consider it. Don't consider it because you like it, don't like me, but because it's something that would be of benefit and would, for the city of Starkville, something that's nice for people and would round out our recreation offerings in the city of Starkville. I yield.
All right. Thank you, Alderman Beatty. All right. We do have a resolution.
Move approval.
Let me just take that. I got a motion for approval from Alderman Sistrunk. Do I have a second? And then I'll come to you, Alderman Carver.
Second.
Second from Alderman Rupp. Okay. All right, Alderman Carver.
I was going to just say, on the subject somewhat, what is Cornerstone's expected completion date? I know the last one we got marked.
I hesitate to say we're looking at probably June.
What's the hold up? Second or third time down the
Weather,
road?
concrete, weather, concrete, weather, wet.
Alderman Beatty is correct in saying it's just a majority of the board decision. Logistically, if this were approved today, I'm going to ask what are the 2 or 3 big ticket items. I can't read that either from this distance. What are the 2 or 3 big ticket items? I guess list the top 3, and then if the policy were to change, or I guess if the sentiment were to change across this board and change, can those numbers? Who's driving this engine at this point as to picking where these dollars are going?
Okay, McKee Park is the top one, and that's driven in large part because we were about to gut it, and everything's going to Cornerstone in terms of all the fields that are there. It also has issues with its drainage, and that drainage has got to be addressed. McKee Park is the top one. Needmore is the second one, and then the third one is Travis Outlaw Center, and that has to do with adding basketball courts and that sort of thing. And one of the things that I think we all forget is that we did a master plan way back when. You were on the board at that point in time, and the reason we've got the Cornerstone Complex is because when that master plan was done, it was done through citizen surveys, and all the input that we got said that was one of the things they wanted. And so while things certainly have changed over the years, pickleball is now the thing, and it wasn't at that point in time. That's some of that feedback that we got when we did that master plan. So I think that's part of where that's come from, is what do we do with the remaining facilities? Basketball courts are highly used. Tennis courts are less used than they used to be because they're now using pickleball courts. But what we're going with is the demand that we're getting, and that demand right now, outsourcing everything, or not outsourcing, that's not the right word, outstripping everything else is pickleball, and soccer, pickleball, and baseball, softball, and basketball during those seasons. So, those things are the things that have teams that people are clamoring for, that the masses of people, where you have, 100 teams, or you have 40 teams, or you have those kinds of numbers that are driving the demand. And that's something we're capturing now through using SFC's data that they get when they have people who are calling in. So I think that's where a lot of that's coming from.
Now, say, the marketing standpoint from selling the cornerstone bonds and things like that to the public on a referendum were the fact that there were going to be some activities for senior citizens. I mean, I say Alderman Sistrunk definitely said, she'd jump on board if she were able to find things for the whole community, not just for youth-specific sports. And so I understand that. And that's kind of, I guess, my question was, what's holding our feet to the fire? Because we don't know if that passed because of that aspect. I don't know if it's 72%. Sounds right, but we don't know. We'll never know what drove that was, in my opinion, is a super majority plus some that drove that the community felt like they wanted to invest in our park system. So I guess my question back to that is, I could argue both sides, just to make sure we have a fair, equitable park system for all ages. I'm going to go on record as saying with Alderman Beatty, I think, if you would bring something up in the future, I'm just kind of torn, I guess I would say, on this specific pot of money. I think that you've got to honor. I think you've got to honor the request of the community because some people voted specifically for that because they wanted a nice, tranquil park setting. They don't have the child that's in the youth park system right now, or they don't swim or whatever. But I would say that there's needs coming that I don't think that. I feel a lot of requests of there's not enough to do for our kids in Starkville. There's not enough to do, and so one of those things is aquatics. And having gone to Dust State and seen the use of what that pool gets from the areas, and having gone to Fayette, and we kind of search for things to do. For somebody that wants to take the kids out in this August, and they're not going to be able to not want to join the country club, and they're not going to want to go, and they just don't think. I just think it's time to start having those discussions, and it's time to throw tennis in there and some things that there's more discussion to be had just because this pot of money is getting allocated. I guess is what I'm saying. There's more discussion in Starkville parks over the next 10 years than just ending with Cornerstone. But we are all fielding a lot of requests of when Cornerstone's ready, when can we get out there. And nobody can walk out there on the walking track yet. Nobody can do anything at Cornerstone, correct?
No, that's correct. It's not ready yet. We haven't released it. We haven't released it from the contractor. He's still got it. He's still working out there. So,
thank you.
All right, Alderman Vaughn.
If I had my way, I would love to see us with a roller skate park. If I had my way, if it were left up to me, I think we would get more benefit out of a roller skate park as we would ever a swimming. But it wouldn't make no difference either way. One, I mean, you got to see which one is going to attract the people the most. And swimming, I don't have nothing against swimming because I love to swim myself, but I just don't see where swimming look like it's just going away. Most places you go now, most of the places you got most of the splash pads, then you have swimming. Swimming look like it's just, this generation don't care nothing about swimming.
All right, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. I believe we've had full discussion. So if you would.
Do we need to say that the motion supports the master plan?
That was your motion, was to support, well, no, this is for the resolution, right?
Resolution to
Yes,
issue the
this
bond.
is just strictly for the bond issuance. Okay. If you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks.
Yay.
Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, it is unanimous. Thank you, everyone. The one last item on the agenda is the claims docket. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
A motion from Alderman Carver. Do I have a second? Alderman Rupp, that was you? Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. All right. If you would please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Alderman Carver.
Yay.
Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks.
Yay.
Alderman Beatty.
Yay.
Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking to her over here. Excuse me. I'm speaking to the nay. Excuse me.
Alderman Vaughn.
Nay.
You got my attention. That's voted 5-2.
Yeah.
Motion carries. All right. Let me get one thing out of the way here. Calling for a work session in accordance with the notices required under Mississippi Code annotated 2541.13. The board will have a work session Friday the 14th of April 2023 at 11 o'clock. That meeting will be held at City Hall on the second floor conference room located at 110 West Main Street. Notice shall be provided within 1 hour of this meeting by posting such notice Notice shall be made part of the minutes of the board meeting, and the work session will be open and public meeting of the City of Starkville. Public and press are invited to attend. Do I have a motion to recess?
Move approved.
I have a motion from Alderman Vaughn to recess. Do I have a second?
Second.
No, Alderman Sistrunk. If you would, please answer yea or nay as the city clerk calls your name.
Mr. Second.
Alderman Carver. Alderman Rupp.
Yay.
Alderman Brooks. Alderman Beatty. Alderman Sistrunk.
Yay.
Vice Mayor Perkins.
Yay.
Alderman Vaughn.
Yay.
All right, we are in recess. Thank you, everyone.